네, 작년 미드서머 나이트에 커브로서 여러분을 찾아뵙던 김은주라고 합니다. 저는 본격적으로 그걸 진행하기에 앞서 몇 가지 주의사항을 안내해 드리고자 하는데요. 첫 번째로 휴대폰 사용은 자제해 주시길 바랍니다. 극장 안이 보시다시피 매우 좁아서 조그마한 불빛이나 소리에도 그게 영향을 줄 수 있기 때문에 지금 휴대폰을 꺼내서 다들 꺼주시거나 밝기를 맞춰주시길 바랍니다. 그리고 두 번째로 극이 진행되는 동안에는 사진 촬영과 영상 촬영이 금지되어 있습니다. 이따가 피날레가 끝나고 따로 사진을 같이 찍을 시간이 있으니까요. 그 시간을 이용해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그리고 세 번째로 스태프들의 지시에 잘 따라주시길 바랍니다. 보시다시피 이렇게 극 중간에 들어오시는 관객분들이 있을 수도 있는데요. 그럴 때 스태프들의 안내에 따라 잘 이동해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그리고 마지막으로 You can take it 비율은 유쾌한 희극입니다. 그러니까 당연히 그 안에 각가지 웃음 포인트가 숨어져 있겠죠. 여러분들이 딱 보셨을 때 얘네가 나를 웃기려고 하는구나, 이게 웃음 포인트구나, 이러면은 진짜 주저하지 말고 웃어주시길 바랍니다. 극이 영어로 진행되는 점 양해 부탁드리고요. 이제 본격적으로 그의 즐겁게 관람해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
그럼 저희는 이만 물러가도록 하겠고요. 앞으로 재밌게 봐주세요. 감사합니다.
My, that kitchen's hot.
What, Essie?
I say that kitchen's awful hot. That new candy I'm making, it just won't ever get cool.
Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day.
Well, I got all those new orders and went out and got a bunch of new orders.
My, if it keeps on, I suppose you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night. But I said no. I want to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Yes, but you shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was learning to type.
I think the candy is hardening up now, Miss Essie. Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try it. Finish the second act, Mrs. Sycamore.
What?
I said, did you finish your second act?
Oh no, Reba. I've just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Well, she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there. She stays 6 years.
Oh, 6 years? My, I bet she busts that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Dipina! Dipina, will you bring up one of those new skyrockets, please? I want to show them to Mrs. Sycamore. Look, Penny, what do you think of these little firecrackers we just made? We can sell them 10 strings per set. Listen. Oh. Nice, huh?
Yes. Paul dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the new rockets. Gold stars and blue stars and then bombs and then a balloon. Did Pina thought of the balloon?
Sounds lovely. Did you do all that today?
Yeah, sure we made it. Oh, here we are. Costs us 18 cents to make, and we sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make before the 1st of July, Pipina?
Well, we've got 2 weeks yet. Oh, what day are you going to take us now? Come on, Bruno.
About a week. You know, we're gonna need a larger booth this year. Got a lot of stuff made up. Come on, Pipina. We're not through yet. Let's go.
All right.
Miss Alice going to be home to dinner tonight, Mrs. Sycamore?
What? I don't know, Reba. Maybe.
Well, I'll set a place for her, but she's only been home 1 night this week. Miss Essie is making some bicycle candy today, and she's doing something new with the coconuts. Let's see, 6 and the peanut, and if Mrs. Cunningham comes, that makes 8, don't it? Oh yes, I meant number 8.
Reba, I think I'll put this play away for a while and go back to the war play.
Oh, the wordplay? I always like that one. Boom, boom. They'll be better when they're harder, Mother, but try one. I want to know what you think.
They look lovely. What do you call them?
I think I'll call them Love Dream.
Yes, that's nice. Oh, I'm going back to my war play, Essie.
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, I sort of got myself into a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, it'll come to you, Mother. The snakes look hungry. Do Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes yet?
No, not yet. Mrs. Collicup is coming, and she always brings the flies with her.
Well, try to feed them before Grandma gets home. You know how fussy she's about them.
Yes, ma'am. Essie, hey, Essie. I like that, Ed. Did you write it? No, Beethoven. Oh, lovely. Got a lot of you in it. I made those new candies this afternoon, Ed. You can take them around tonight. All right. Now, here's the finish. This is me. How's that? That's fine. Remember it when Colin Cough comes, will you?
Labor play. Religious play. And family play. I know it's your someplace.
What have you got for dinner, Reba? I'm ready to print the menu. Well, let's see. I got cornflakes, watermelon, some of these candies Miss Essie made, and some sort of meat. I forget. I think I'll set it up in a bold-faced Shelton tonight. Oh, you know, if I'm going to take those new candies around, I'd better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
Do you think anybody reads those things that you put in the candy boxes? Oh, here's the war play, poison gas.
How's Grandma?
She's over at Columbia this afternoon. The commencement exercises.
N-E-A-T. Why she go there for all the time, Penny?
I don't know. It's so handy. Just around the corner.
Oh, well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandma?
Oh, wonderful. They get better every year. Oh, you don't know how lucky you are snakes.
Trotsky! Trotsky!
Oh, what?
Grandma, we made a new skyrocket today. Wait till you see. Wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencement?
Oh, don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator, and he will drown out the whole calling of fireworks.
nice day.
Oh, hello, have a nice day. Don't I think that kiss?
Oh, excuse me, Grandma.
Oh, I'll take a tomato tea. Play something out.
Alright. Grandma, there was a letter for you. Did you get it?
Letter to me?
Uh-huh.
I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. How'd your name on it?
Oh, that's funny. Well, who was it?
United States government.
Oh, really? Wonder what they wanted.
Oh, and there was one before that, too. From the same people. There was a couple of them.
Well, if anyone comes, I will shoot give them to me.
Yes, Grandma.
God is the state! The state is God!
What's that?
God is the state. The state is God.
Who says that?
Trusky!
Well, that's alright. I thought you said it.
It's nice for written, you know. Good and short. God is the...
So the beautiful princess came into the place and kissed her mother, her father, and her grandmother. And what do you think? They turned into the sycamore family. Surprise?
Oh, Alice, I like it.
Do you?
It's new, isn't it? Where'd you get it?
I took a walk during lunch hour.
Oh, you've been taking a lot of walks lately. Ah, that's the second you dressed this way.
So I just like to brighten up the offense once in a while. I'm known as the Audrey Hepburn of Kirby and Co.
Aw.
And what's new around here? In the way of plays, slates, latency, or fireworks? Dad, I'll bet you've been down in that cellar all day.
I'm going back to my war play, Alice.
Really, Mother?
Ed, you should play Alice, that Beethoven thing you wrote.
You know, you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua now for 2 pesetas.
Really?
Kenneth, my wife is a priceless thing to me.
Listen, Nicole. Listen. I'm not home to dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me.
Oh,
Really? Who is it?
Well, isn't that nice? Why don't you boss stay to dinner?
No. I wanted to take you in easy doses. Don't bring him any place, Mother. And don't let a snake bite him, Grandma, because I like it. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we are going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
No, can't do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby and Co.
Oh.
Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
Well,
Just like the movies. That explains the new dresses.
And not being home to dinner for 3 weeks. Why, Sherlock Holmes?
are you going to marry him?
Is he good looking?
Yes, in a word. Oh, here. What time is it? Will you let me know the minute it comes, please?
Of course, Alice.
Yes, I know, but I mean the minute it comes.
Why, of course.
Well, be sure.
Well, what do you think of that? She seems to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We could have the wedding right in this room.
Now wait a minute, Penny. This is the first time he's ever called for the girl.
But you only call for me once.
But young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Ed and me. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
He must be crazy about her. Maybe he's the one who is taking her out every night. Oh, there he is. Never mind, Rebel, I'll answer it. Now, remember what Alice said and be very nice to him. Alright, let's take a look at him. Well, welcome to our little home. How do you do? A ticket write it. Here we are. Now, I'm Alice's father, Alice's father,
Hello.
and Alice's grandmother, her sister Essie, and Essie's husband Edgar Michael. Well, now give me your hand and
Oh.
make some... Oh, right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Does a Mrs. Martha Vanderhoff live here?
Oh, yes, madam. That's me.
Well, Mrs. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax. Do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, no. Just go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, it isn't, darling. It's an internal something or other. Pardon me.
Now, Mrs. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this but have not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you, they're from the government.
Sorry.
According to our records, Mrs. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax.
Uh-huh, that's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, it seems, Mrs. Vanderhoff, that you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's a lot.
What's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever file an income tax return?
No, madam.
What was your income last year?
$28.50. Wasn't it, Essie?
If you please. Now, Mrs. Vanderhoff, you know there's quite a penalty for not filing an income tax return.
Penalty? Oh, look, Mrs. Henderson. Let me ask you something.
Well,
What's the government going to do with my money? If I go to Macy's and buy something, there it is. I see it. What's the government give me?
why the government gives you everything? It protects you.
What from?
Well, invasion. Foreigners might come over here and take everything you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're going to do that.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay it.
Well, they've got to show me. I wouldn't mind paying if it was sensible.
We don't have to show you. You pay every cent of it like everybody else.
Listen, Essie. Listen to this a minute.
And let me tell you something else. You go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear that? That's the law. And if you think you're above the law, you've got another thing coming. You'll hear from the United States government. That's all I can say. Watch out for those things. Jesus!
So, how was it?
That's fine.
How did that sound to you, folks?
Oh, I liked it.
My goodness, she was mad, wasn't she?
Oh, it's not a fault. It's just that the whole thing is so silly.
She forgot her hat.
Hat? What size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Oh, just right for me.
This must be Mr. Kirby. How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Kirby, come right in. We've been expecting you. This is really Mr. Kirby. Now, I'm Alice's mother, and that's Mr. Sycamore, Alice's grandmother, her sister Essie, and Essie's husband. There, now you know all of us, Mr. Kirby. Well, now give me your hand and make yourself right at
Thank
home.
you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
Yes, it is Alice. He's love.
Thanks.
You're awful young, aren't you, Mr. Kirby? To be vice president of a big place like that?
Well, you know what that means, vice president? All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Sounds kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Well, you've certainly got a good start, Mr. Kirby. A vice president and a rich father.
That's hardly my fault.
So now I suppose you're all ready to settle down and get married!
Come now, Penny. I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
I wasn't making up his mind for him. Was I, Mr. Kirby?
Well, that's quite alright, Mrs. Sycamore.
You see.
Well, here I am, a vision in blue. Apparently, you all have time to get acquainted.
Yes, and then we were just having a delightful talk about love and marriage.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I came down as fast as I could.
I didn't mind in the list.
That must be calling call.
I think we'd better go.
Alright.
Oh, my lips are Bershka. Here's flies.
Oh yes, that's calling call for right.
Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Collingwood. Oh, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I practiced today, Mrs. Collingwood.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mrs. Clinton.
Oh, my little. Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mrs. Kalenka. Tony, this is Mrs. Kalenka, assist dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Really pardon us, Mrs. Kalenka. We are going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
The Monte Carlo Ballet? It stinks!
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody.
Oh, goodbye. I'm so glad to meet you all.
The Monte Carlo Ballet. Come on, everyone. Dinner's ready.
Wow. Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely?
It's so good looking.
I think if they get married here, I'll put the altar right where the snakes are. You wouldn't mind, Grandma, would you?
Like the snake's time.
Oh, no, no, no. They'll want to get married in a church. His family and everything.
No, not in a church.
Again,
Here.
man. You're
Quiet, everybody, quiet.
In a church, you go.
Well said. We've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we are certainly much obliged. Remember, all we ask is to just go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you.
Amen. Mom saying, of course.
I could sit and dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are? Aren't they? But of course, just walking inside my theater gets me in jail.
Well, it's been so lovely, Penny. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
Wonderful.
I'll see what's in the icebox. Want to come along?
I follow you to the end of the earth.
Just the kitchen. I'll take mine in a glass if you don't mind.
to offer a toast.
Here's it.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
Well, you know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade one minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Of course, my heart.
Oh, Tony.
Oh, I guess I have to go.
Is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
I don't want you to. It'd be nice if you were here.
I won't.
Oh,
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh! Excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I had no idea that I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Oh, not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
I just came down for a manuscript. Then you can go right ahead. Oh. Here it is. Oh, kiss you tonight. Well, good night, Tony.
Oh, good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
You can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least I hope so.
What's that?
that's alright, Tony. That's Father.
Oh, this time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
You know, you're more beautiful, more lovely, and more adorable than anyone else in the whole world.
Don't, Tony.
What, my dear? Just because you're mother? All mothers are like that, Alice. And Penny's your darling? You see, I am calling her Penny.
Tony, I want to make it clear to you. Listen, you are of a different world, a whole different kind of people. I don't mean money or socially, that's too silly, but your family and mine, it just wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
Alright, have it your way. She can't dance.
Well, that's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, I don't call that dancing what she does. Oh, hello! Look, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, well, yes, I always thought so.
What does she do anyhow? Now look, Mr. Kirby, you're Fred Astaire, and I'm Ginger Rogers.
See, please.
I only want to use him for a minute. Now look, Mr. Kirby.
See? Just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree.
You see, Ed?
Yeah. Come on, I see your body image here.
Oh, but they've been together all evening. Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alice.
Oh, good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night. Essie, did you ask Grandma about us having a baby?
Oh, yes. She said to go right ahead.
See, Tony? That's what it'd be like.
I didn't mind that. Anyhow, we're not going to let your family.
No, Tony. It's never end like that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Some people could just break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're happy, they're fun, and I don't know. There's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as though only you can understand them. But that's not true. Why every family has got curious little traits?
It goes deeper, Tony. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago, a typewriter was delivered here by mistake. And that it took too much time. So for 35 years, she's just collected snakes and go to circuses and commencements. It never occurs to any of them.
That doesn't stop people. Love each other, darling. Darling, won't you trust me and go on loving me and forget everything else?
How can I?
They won't have to change. They're charming and lovable people, just as they are. Everything will work out. You're worrying about something that will never come up.
Tony, am I?
All that matters right now is to love each other. That's so, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, my dear, I guess I have to go. Good night, Alice. See you tomorrow.
Hi.
Oh, what a day. We did a good, nice work. Oh, why hello Alice. You just come in?
No, I've been home quite a while.
Have a nice evening.
Yes, I had a beautiful evening, Father.
Say, I'd like you to take a look at this new red fire. Will you turn the lights?
What, Father?
Take a look at this new red fire. It's beautiful. Oh, there! What do you think of it? Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, Father. Everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world.
I'm ready to read you the new play, Miss Wellington. Anytime you are.
Just a minute, dearie. Just a minute.
The only thing is, I hope you don't mind my mentioning this, but you don't drink when you're acting, do you, Miss Wellington? I'm just asking, of course.
No, I'm glad you brought it up. Once a play opens, I never touch a drop. The minute I enter a stage door, the bottle gets put away until intermission.
Have you been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
All my life, I've played everything.
Well, anytime you're ready, we'll go up to my room and start. I thought I'd read the play up in my room.
All right, dearie, I'm ready.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
When I see snakes, it's time to lay down.
Oh, but those are real, Miss Wellington. Dear grandmas, those are real. I hope she's not going to. Miss Wellington. She sounds like a light. Oh, I suppose I'll just have to wait.
Oh, next time you meet an actress on the top of a bus, Penny. I think I sent her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
And I wish you stopped printing and take those love dreams around. You've got to get back in time to play for me when Kolikoff comes.
Alright.
Oh, Kolikoff coming tonight?
Yes, tomorrow's next his night. But look, I had to change. I had to instead of that, look for Alice.
Oh, big doings around there tomorrow night, huh?
Isn't it exciting? You know, I'm so nervous. You'd think it was me he was engaged to instead of Alice.
Aw.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reva tomorrow night.
Yes, dear.
Here's some. What happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
No, she's not acting Alice. She's really drunk.
Look, Mother, I'm coming home at 3 o'clock arrange the table and fix the flowers.
Oh, the cabbies are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother?
Of course, dear. Now, Alice, I wouldn't worry. From what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the cabbies are very nice people. And if everything isn't so elaborate tomorrow night, it's alright too.
Darling, I'm not trying to impress them or pretend you're anything that we aren't. I just want everything to go off well.
Oh, no reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We're all going to do everything we can to make it a nice party.
Oh, my darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. I didn't know anyone could be so happy. I'm in love. Oh, Reba! Reba!
Ah, nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Rebishka, Mother Rebishka. Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Kollikoff.
Hello, Mrs. Kollikoff. S is in the kitchen.
Oh, Madam Kumar. Greet you. Tell me, Grandma, what should I do about Rebishka? I kept telling her she would make a great toe dancer.
Oh.
She'll laugh so mean. No, Mrs. Kollikoff, I could not get up on my toes. I got cords.
Oh. How are you, Kollikoff?
Magnificent. Life is chasing and set me like a squirrel.
Oh.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mrs. Kollikoff. I'll get into my dancing clothes right away. Tonight you'll really work, Pavlova. Tonight we'll take something new.
Let's see, making any progress, Kollikoff?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Oh.
There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Oh, well, as long as she's having fun. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
So sorry I'm late, Mrs. Kollikoff. I couldn't find my slippers. We have a hot line for you, my Pavlova. Art is only achieved through perspiration. Ready? Here we go. Now. Pirouette. Come, you can do that. It's 8 years now. Pirouette. Oh, at last. Trisha. Ah! Mrs. Kollikoff! I'm sorry, but we go back to the pirouette. A little fear with the hands. The whole body was working. And help us with the music. The music must be free. Oh, Mrs. Sycamore! Bye, Reba.
Good evening.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Are we too early?
Oh, no. Come right in. Is perfectly alright?
Why?
We're glad to see you.
Yes. Only we thought it was to be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
What?
Oh, now. It's perfectly alright. Just make yourself at home.
Shirley, how could you possibly get the dates wrong?
I don't know. I thought.
Really, Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, not at all. Why? We weren't doing a thing.
No, just a quiet evening at home.
Oh, that's all. Now, don't let it bother you. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael. And Mrs. Kollikoff.
I'll tell Alice that you're... Alice, dear.
What is it?
could you have done such a thing?
I'm sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight.
Really, Tony? You must be very careless. No. Anybody can get mixed up, Mrs. Kirby.
Oh, Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? They've come for dinner, you know.
Oh, please don't bother. We're really not hungry at all. But it's not a bit of bother. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, please don't trouble Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyway.
Oh, sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon? I'm very fond of it. You can have frankfurters if you'd rather. Either one will do.
Oh!
Oh, and this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
I hope you're forgiving my appearance.
This is Mr. Sycamore's busiest time of the year, just before the 4th of July.
Oh, my darling. I'm the most ill-witted person in the world. I thought it was tonight.
Honey, I thought you. I'm sorry. I can't imagine why. Was it? Have we all met each other?
Yes, indeed. How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Oh, darling. You look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you, my dear. We've all just met each other a night sooner. That's all. Of course.
But I was planning such a nice party tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
There you are, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just that we'd better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all done, Alice. I asked him what he wanted.
Yes, but Mr. Kirby.
No, it's not as serious as all that. Just because I have a little indigestion.
Perhaps it's not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby.
Perhaps you have stomach ulcers.
Be absurd, Mrs. Fullington.
You mustn't mind Mrs. Collington, Mr. Kirby. She's a Russian, and Russians are inclined to look on the dark side.
Alright, I'm a Russian. But a friend of mine, a Russian, died from stomach ulcers.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mrs. Fullington. Mr. Kirby has indigestion, and that's all.
Alright, anyway.
Well, there was a young lady from Italy who had a remarkable feeling.
That may seem a little strange to you people, but she's not quite accountable for her actions. A friend of Mrs. Sycamore's, she came to dinner and was overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it, more than others. I'm afraid you must be starved. Oh, no, quite right.
Oh, do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they take 6 years before they blossom.
6 years?
Don't they? Think of that.
Oh, some of them take even longer than that. I've got one coming along that I've waited 10 years for. Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid sale.
Mr. Kirby, please tell them all about your orchids. I know they'd love to hear it. And excuse me,
Kind of an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids.
Yes, it is. But I feel that if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it is never expensive.
That's very true.
I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, it's more than a hobby, but to me, my great solace is spiritualism. Spiritualism? Now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that there's a fake. To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss about this, Mrs. Sycamore.
Remember, Penny, you've got 1 or 2 hobbies of your own.
Yes, but not silly ones.
Oh, I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
to be ideal, a hobby should prove
Why didn't somebody stop her?
I think, if you don't mind, I think we better get going.
Mrs. Kirby, please. Please don't go. Mr. Kirby, please. I ordered some scrambled eggs for you and plain salad. Please don't go.
I'm sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all now.
Would you like some candy, Mr. Kirby? I've got some freshly made.
But my doctor does not permit to eat candy. Thank you.
Oh, but these are nothing, Mr. Kirby. Just coconut and marshmallow and fudge.
No, that's it.
Well, can I have one?
I've certainly put you people to a lot of troubles with my stupidity.
Oh, not at all, Tony.
Would you mind terribly, Alice, if we didn't sit for dinner? I think I have some headache.
Yes, possibly we better postpone the dinner if you don't mind. But you're coming tomorrow night, aren't you?
I'm afraid that we have an engagement tomorrow night.
Perhaps we better postpone the whole affair a little while. The hot weather and
I think we're being very ingracious, Mother. Of course we'll stay for dinner tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
come, Tony. I'm sure everyone understands.
No. I think we ought to stay.
No, Tony.
What?
We were fools, Tony. Never to think it'll work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
What are you talking about, Alice?
I'm sorry, my dear. Very sorry. Are you ready, Miriam?
Yes, Anthony.
Darling, you mustn't mind us.
Oh, it's been very nice to meet you all.
Yes, lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night.
Stay right where you are!
Oh! Let's move.
Well, for heavens, how dare you? What does this mean?
What is all this?
I need an explanation.
Keep your mouth shut, you. Which one is it? This is here.
Hey, what are you doing?
What do you mean? Her mother is it?
This is an outrage!
Shut up. What's your name?
Edward Carmichael? Well, I haven't done it.
You haven't, huh? Oh, this seems rather high-handed to me. What's it all about? Department of Justice.
Oh!
My goodness, Damon! And what have you done?
I haven't done anything!
What's the boy done, officer?
What is it? What's it all about?
That door leads to a cellar?
Yes.
it does. Jim, yes, sir. Take a look upstairs and see what you find.
I haven't done anything!
Here you. Ever seen these before?
They're my circulars.
You print these stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you put them into boxes of candy to get them into people's homes.
But I didn't mean anything.
You didn't, huh? Dynamite the Capitol, dynamite
What?
the White House, dynamite the Supreme Court.
What?
Dynamite the state spot.
But I didn't mean anything. I just like to print. Don't I, Grandma?
Now, officer, the government in no danger from it. Printing is just his hobby. That's all. He prints anything. He does, huh?
I never heard of such
Nonsense.
I refuse to stay here.
Judge Callahan and give us suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
Yeah, kept me in the same cell with a strip teaser from the last show.
I was in the cell with Mr. Kirby. Why, he was mad.
Mrs. Kirby and the strip teaser, they were fighting all night.
Oh, hold on about Mr. Kirby here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby & Co., 62 Wall Street, who was among the subpoenaed there. He was in no way interested in the manufacture of fireworks, but refused to state why he was on the premises at the time of the raid. And Mr. Kirby is a member of the Union Club, the Rocket Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. Why, he certainly is enjoying it. And I suppose after this, Mr. Tony ain't never going to marry Elisa.
No, Pina, and it's too bad too. Miss Alice surely loves that boy. And I don't know what to do with all that food out of the kitchen. Ain't going to be no party tonight, that's for sure. They're all so broke up about Miss Alice.
Why she want to play? Where's she going?
Well, she's going. Nothing anybody said could change her.
But she ain't going to stay away long, is she, Mrs. Sycamore?
I don't know, Reba. She won't say.
My, going to be lonesome around here without her.
How you feeling, Mrs.
I'm alright. Just kind of upset. Perhaps if I do some work, maybe I'll feel better.
Really?
She's going, Penny.
Yes.
Oh, Penny.
I can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel it's our fault.
It's mine more than yours, Penny. All these years, I've just been going alone and enjoying myself when maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and husband too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone ahead and been architect, something Alice could have been proud of. I felt that all last night looking at Mr. Kirby.
But we've been so happy, Paul.
I know, but maybe that's not enough. I used to think it was, but I'm kind of old so much.
What time is she going?
Pretty soon. Train leaves at 7:30.
Oh, if only she'd see Tony. I'm sure he could persuade her.
She won't, Penny. He's been trying all day.
Where's he now?
I don't know. I suppose walking around the block again. Anyhow, she won't talk to him.
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
Good grandma.
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can take just so much Adirondacks and then come home.
But it's all so terrible, grandma.
Need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandma. I'm just going to press this.
Alice, dear.
Now, Penny.
I'll bring the big bags down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thank you.
Do you want to take some candy along for the train, Alice?
No thanks, Leslie.
Really, Alice? You could be just as alone here as you can in the mountains. You can stay right in your room all the time.
No, Mother. I want to be myself. Away from everybody. I love you, all you know that. But I just have to go away for a while. I'll be alright. I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything. That behaved the way other people's families do. Why can't we be like other people? Respect, took your vegetable, place at the table, a place you can bring your friends to without.
Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks. Alice, won't you listen to me? Please?
Tony, it's no use.
Oh, Alice, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Good evening, everybody.
Why, Mrs. Kolenkoff?
Hello, Kolenkoff.
Forgive me, the door is open.
Come on in.
I don't think I can take a lesson, Mrs. Kolenkoff. I don't feel up to it.
But do stay to dinner, Mrs. Kolenkoff. We've got all that food out there, and somebody's got to eat it.
I'll be happy to, Madam Sycamore. Thank you. Now, I wonder if I know you well enough to ask you a great favor.
Why, of course, Mrs. Kolenkoff. What is it?
You have heard me talk about my friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina?
Yes.
Oh, she's a great woman. The Grand Duchess, her cousin was the Tsar of Russia.
Tsar?
And today she's a waitress in Charles restaurant, Times Square.
Yes, I know. If there's anything at all that we can do for you, Mrs. Kolenkoff.
I tell you, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina has not had a good meal since before the revolution.
She must be hungry.
And today, it is not only your day off, Thursday, but it's also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mrs. Kolenkoff, if you like the Grand Duchess to come to dinner, why? We'd be honored.
In the name of Grand Duchess, I thank you.
I can hardly wait to meet her. Where is she now?
She's outside the street waiting.
Oh.
Let her in.
Oh, Ed?
I see. Come on, you're dressed. How do I look? All right.
Oh, you know, it's this kid's song. I want to live to be 150.
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, Your Highness, permit me to present Madam Sycamore, Madam Carmichael, Grandma,
Madam.
Mr. Carmichael, and Mr. Sycamore.
Oh, will you be sitting, Your Highness?
Thank you. You're most kind. We're honored to receive you, Your Highness. I'm most happy to be here. Oh, how soon is dinner? It will be quite soon, Your Highness. Very soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I'm substituting for another waitress.
I'll make sure you're on time, Your Highness.
Thank you, Colin. Come on.
Your Highness, do you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Of course, he was my cousin. It was terrible what happened to him, but perhaps it was for the best. How can I get a job now?
Pravda, that is true. Your Highness, we have to watch the time.
Yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He's a communist.
We'll hurry things up. Essie, why don't you go out in the kitchen and see if you can help Reba?
I'll let you. I'm a very good cook.
Oh, not on your day off, Your Highness.
I do not mind. Where's the kitchen?
Right, you're here, but you're the guest of honor, Your Highness.
I love to go. Come, Colin, come. They got sour cream and patches. I'll make you some business. Come.
Princess! Oh, come, let me show you something.
Really, she's a very nice woman, you know, considering she's a Grand Duchess.
Oh, wonderful. What some people go through, isn't it? And still keep kind of happy too.
She made me forget about everything for just a minute.
Ed, will you go up and bring my bag?
Oh, don't do it, Ad.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Ed, please.
All right, Ad. Bring it down. You know that? God to starve his daughter. All 50 states.
That must be the cab.
If it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
It's turning here, Alice.
Yes, yes it
but I'm sure I understand. You want me to do that for you, Alice?
Thanks, Mother.
You've got quite a while before the train goes, Alice.
Will you send the cab to 761 Pyramid right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby? I suppose after last night, you think this family is kind of crazy?
Yes. I mean, no. I would not say that. Although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending a night in jail.
Oh, well, you've got to remember, Mr. Kirby, you came on the wrong night. Now tonight, I'll bet you, nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mrs. Vanderhoff, it was not merely last night that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, it's for the last time. Will you marry me?
Tony, I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
No, it's not, Alice.
Oh, Alice, you're in love with this boy, and you're not marrying him because we are the kind of people we are.
Grandma,
I know. You think the two families wouldn't get along? Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who say they're right and we're wrong?
I didn't say that, Grandma.
Well, what I feel is that Tony's too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
How's that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy, the way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Vanderhoff. I am a very happy man.
Oh, are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. What do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? Oh, no, sir. You get it. Because most of the time is spent in doing things you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do, and it's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
Then what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my dart, even have time to notice when spring comes around.
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mrs. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. And it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want you to come under its influence.
Oh, what's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it, it's downright communism. That's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
I most certainly did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so, because there was a time when you wanted to be a juggler.
Juggler?
Don't be an idiot, Tony.
Yes, you did. I came across those letters you wrote to grandfather. Do you remember those?
No, how dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Why, isn't it wonderful, Mr. Kirby? Did you wear tights?
Certainly not. The whole thing is absurd. I was 14 years old at that time.
Yes, but at 18, wanted to be a saxophone player.
Saxophone player?
And at 21, ran away from home because grandfather wanted to go into the business. Oh, it's all down there in black and white. It didn't always think so.
Well.
I may have had some silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot about them.
Oh, not altogether, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of your closet.
There it
That's enough, Tony. We'll discuss this later.
Oh, no. I want to talk about it now. I think Vanderhoef is right. That's right. I'm never going back to the office. I've always hated it. And I'm not going on with it. And I'll tell you something else. I did not make a mistake last night.
What?
I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony,
Well, for heaven's
Because I wanted to wake you up. I wanted to see a real family as they really are. A family that loved, understood each other. You don't understand me. You've never had time. Well, I'm not going to make a mistake. I'm clearing out.
clearing out? What do you mean, Tony? What are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer, but at least I'll be doing something I want to do.
Oh, that must be the cab.
Ask him to wait a minute, Ed.
Grandma.
Do you mind, Alice? You know, Mr. Kirby, Tony is going through just what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same things to your father 25 years ago. We all did it, and we were right. All those plans we make, what happens to them? It's only a handful of the lucky ones that can look back and say that they even came close. So, before they clean out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a few good hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon, before my condolences, how many will be there for dinner?
Oh, Your Highness. May I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
Oh, how's that? How do you do? But before my condolences, how many will be there for dinner?
Oh, I've made quite a stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Good, because that always said to me, Olga, not prestigious condolences.
Oh.
Could you just say that was Mrs. Vanderhoef?
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And, speaking of dinner, Mr. Kirby, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. We've got all the stuff we were going to have last night. I mean, tonight.
How about it, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
Why? If you care to, Tony, I would like to very much.
Alice send away that cow, Mrs. Vanderhoef?
How about it, Alice? Going to be a nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
No.
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby. Honey. Oh, honey. Grandma, you're wonderful.
Oh, I've been telling you that for years.
Grandma, here's a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
Oh, let me see. Ooh, the government again.
Tonight, my friend, you're going to...
Oh, hello there.
How do you do?
Oh, fine, fine. Glad to see you. What has happened, Grandma?
He's relaxing. That's right. Play something, Ed.
Everything will be ready in a minute.
Oh.
Come on, everybody. Dinner's ready. Oh, come on, Tipina.
Oh, Effie, stop dancing and come to dinner.
Mr. Kirby, you will love Russian food.
Oh, well, you must be careful of your indigestion.
Nonsense. I haven't had any indigestion.
Well, Miss Sycamore, How was your trip to the Edgar and Dash?
Shut your face, Mr.
In Russia, when you sit down to the... Quiet, everybody, quiet! Well, sir, here we are again. Want to say thanks once more for everything you've done for us. Things seem to be going along fine. Alice is going to marry Tony. And